2023 People Democratic Party PDP governorship candidate of Ebonyi State, Chukwuma Odii, has accused Governor Francis Nwifuru of wasting the resources of the state on Chuba Okadigbo Airport in the state. Odii, in a statement signed by Moses Odika, head of media of his campaign organization Anyiga Emea Movement, alleged that Governor Nwaifuru has wasted so much millions of naira on the airport that was deemed to have been completed by the past administration of David Uwahi, who is now Minister of Works. He disclosed that after spending about 20 billion naira for the rehabilitation of the airport's runway, the governor spent more billions by pulling wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and wives of governors from different states of the Federation of the States to inaugurate the upgraded runway. Recall that the airport was inaugurated on May 26, 2023 by then President Muhammadu Buhari. However, by the September 2023, Governor Nwaifuru announced that he had awarded a 13 billion naira contract. Already, information emanating from government sources indicates that close to 20 billion naira for the rehabilitation of 3-month-old runway. Despite these humongous amounts that were said to have been spent in building the airport, on Friday, November 15, 2024, Governor Nwaifuru again rolled out the drums to commission yet again the runway of Chuba Okadigbo Airport. This time, Governor Nwaifuru invited the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who came to Abakaliki with a retinue of other first ladies and top government functionaries. And with the visit, yet another set of billions of Ebonyi State allocation have been spent. Airports are economically strategic investments that are planned and backed up with data of return on investment. But since the Chuba Okadigbo Airport was constructed, no kobo has been generated for Ebonyi State, and there is no plan anywhere on how the airport can become economically viable, he said. From the economy, infrastructure, education, health services, environment, human capital development, and sanitation, there is hardly any visible plan to extricate the people of the state from the stranglehold of poverty, disease, ignorance, and massive starvation. This is coming from Odii and from Ebonyi State. Comrade NFA, I would love to get your thoughts from this analysis.
What Odii said about Nwaifuru is a fact and not peculiar to Ebonyi State. For us, in the civil society space, we have said it severally, that we just have a lot of people who have no business being in government, finding themselves in government, mostly because they are forced on us by one godfather or the other, people who previous administration can control. For God's sake, Ebonyi State is a state where they mine a lot of things. Stones, sand, and other mineral resources that can be used to provide marble and several other things. One would have expected that our government would have invested state resources on economically viable products like marble companies, where you do start and finishing aspect of granite and marble production. These are the kind of companies that one would have thought, Ebonyi State is a mass farmland. One would have thought that the governor would have enrolled his agricultural program, both subsistence and commercial, just so that you export a lot of things like the popular Ebonyi Gari and several other byproducts of agricultural produce. These are the kind of things that one would have expected. Take it to the next level, package it, send abroad, send to other part of the country, and generate a lot of resources. But what do you have? You have put billions of naira into an airport that is barely working, and like Odii said, that lack economic viability. So, and this brings to the fore the problem we have in this country, which is the fact that our political leaders are more interested in spending money than being strategic. They're more interested in spending money, and I want to be put on record. When you do a proper investigation, into how the way and manner these funds were disbursed, you'll be shocked that half of it is either diverted or taken to ends up in people's pocket. It's not the first, it's not the second, it's not the third. Of course, you're aware that the governor of Delta, former governor of Delta State, is being chased around, tossed around. And so these are, by the time they leave office and they lose immunity, and begin to hear mind-blowing allegations against them. So it's not new to us. But we think that our government should be more responsible, especially in this time of economic crunch, where there is a lot of poverty, hunger everywhere. One would have expected that government should be more responsible, should be more circumspect, and invest our resources properly, just so that there could be reduction in hunger, there could be reduction in poverty, and less of agitation. I have told people that the agitation you see in the southeast is manifesting by way of separatist movement, and it is popular because of hunger and poverty and lack. Once you fix poverty and lack, all these agitations in the southeast will be quelled naturally. Okay,
I wanted to ask, after the 20 billion naira was spent, and then another fund was requested for twice, there were two different occasions where funds were requested. Do you think that there were no authorities to ask questions that what have you done with the first fund that was released? Because this allocation actually comes from the higher authority. You get? Do you think that there were no questions, there were no interrogation, there were no probe over it to find out what the first resource has been used to do before they release the second one?
You see, Chidima, the people or the organ of government that have that responsibility is the assembly. But you see, the problem we have is that, and that is why as civil society we have always questioned our brand of elections and politics. So the same way the governor came, that is how most members of the senators of assembly came. One godfather, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 persons who feel that they are very powerful persons, come together and pick people for us. So you see, the people don't represent their people. Otherwise, the essence of the legislature or parliament, either at the local government, state or national level, is to put check on the governor. The idea is that, the idea of government, even contemporary democracy, is that there should be a leviathan in government house in charge of our collective resources. Then, why democracy is different from others is that the people will check the excesses of this leviathan that the people have created. That's governor, local government chairman, or the president. Now, all of us cannot go and be checking the leviathan, the governor, the chairman, or the president. It is therefore the reason why we now choose representatives to represent the people of Ozoba, where the station is situated, at the parliament, to checkmate the governor on behalf of those who live and do business here, on behalf of Atlantic Television, on behalf of Wish FM, on behalf of Ozoba community youth. So one person will have to be there. So the assembly member is supposed to go there and checkmate the excesses of the governor. But what do we have? Because of the way and manner they came on board, they are not doing their duty. If you even look at the court judgment as regards checkmating the excesses, like the case of Rivers State, the court in this wisdom has said that is the function of the assembly, and not even the EFCC. Trying although yes, the matter is still, I think, at the Supreme Court right now. But I think at the level of the Court of First Instance, which is the High Court, and I think at the Appellate Court, though the matter has been very slow. It is that they are supposed to, the House of Assembly is supposed to be the one checkmating. But like I said, who are these persons? How did they come? They meet in one chieftain's house and decide. So at the end of the day, the man just requests for more money. They just get more money. And like I told you, I won't be surprised if you do proper investigation. Half half of this money ends up in for a few person's pocket. And it is because of that. So when they are in government, instead of them to be thinking of viable projects, viable investments that will bring huge return on investment and will better the life of people, reduce hunger and stagnation and underdevelopment, reduce underdevelopment for the people, they end up doing bogus projects. What is the viability of an airport in Ebonyi State? Tell me, please. Even the ones you have in mega cities like Lagos and Port Harcourt is struggling to survive. What is the essence? What is the drive? Well, by the time you put it side by side with a granite company, because of the rocky nature of Ebonyi State, by the time you put an airport side by side with agriculture, because of the arable lands in Ebonyi State, by the time you put it with ICT, the new oil and gas all over the world, of course, you know, big data is huge money. People are staying in their houses because they have access to technology, they generate data, and they make huge amount of money. So it kind of influence the Elon Musk of this world, Zuckerberg of this world. Because why? They had the capacity to generate data. And data, simply put, information is money. So why can't you create, for example, if you invest that kind of money into ICT in Ebonyi State, and of course you, yes, no particular area is done, but whether you like it or not, you cannot suppress the indomitable spirit of the Igbo man. By the time you invest that kind of huge amount of money in IT, or even in tech generally, even if it's not information technology, but in tech generally, you know the amount of resources. Ebonyi State will just be the rallying point for other states to come and pick technology of that kind. But you don't have that. I
wanted to ask, the senator, the president's wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, commissioned this. She was invited twice on 2 different occasions to commission this airport. Do you think there's a question to be asked, like, why did this have to happen the second time? What do you think? Like, do you think that this was like what I'm trying to get a word, a covering that the senator is actually commissioning it, so it's on a good will, like, because she was invited the first time and the second time. Do you think this was used as an avenue to cover up something?
Well, it is what it is. Petty politics, patronage. I have just told you here that the people we have in government at different levels in this country do not represent or reflect the aspirations and the wishes of the ordinary people. So because of that, their loyalty, their allegiance is to some few godfathers and people with mass of political influence.
Who are the godfathers?
I have the Minister for Works, for instance, the Ebonyi State, the owner of Ebonyi State PLC. Yes, that is what it is. It's what it is. The owner of Ebonyi State PLC. So, and this is how these fiefdoms own different states. So what you are seeing, like I said, is an issue of patronage, petty politics, loyalty not to the ordinary people. Because why? In the first place, the way Amana even came to power, the way he assessed power, it is not through a general electoral college of the ordinary people. So because of that, what you see at every point in time, if they want to do road, if they want to do pipe-borne water, they are not doing it because they are doing it for the people. They are doing it because it is a means to an end. It is for a particular patronage. So that thing you see every day and every time the president's wife is invited to come and it is just the patronage, nothing more. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, elections will be coming 2027, oh, I'm your boy, I am loyal, you know, the system should protect me. This is how we roll.
Talking about construction of roads and all of it, why do you think that, what was the reason why these resources were not used instead for road construction and implementing other resources that, like you talked about, the mining sector, you know, in the states? Because Ebonyi State, as it stands, is a beautiful state in Nigeria for that particular aspect. Well, do you think that there was a reason why those resources were not used for these purposes than the construction of the airports? Because according to Odii, he said that this airport has not yielded any funds since the commission it was commissioned. Do you think that there was a reason why these funds were not used for those purposes, like I mentioned?
I have told you here first and foremost that our government in this part of the world don't think of what will better the people.
Well, why do you think there's a situation like that?
Yeah, because first of all, the way and manner they came into power, they emerged as political leaders. Because you cannot give what you don't have. You just have to give what you have. The truth about the matter, these persons came into power through political fiefdoms. You know, people who see themselves as owners of a particular space. So they come together and say, oh, this man will become governor. So when that happens, at every point in time, all their actions and inactions are towards satisfying these few persons and themselves. And that is why you see at every point in time they quarrel. By the time they begin to continue that pattern, a particular time comes. Before you know, you hear that the governor of the state and the political, so-called political leaders and owners of Ebonyi State are quarreling. The reason for it is just simple. It is that, I don't know, because, but if they are doing roads, go and check very well. You see, either that road is leading towards their supermarket, or their wife's supermarket, or their friend's a nightclub, or their political godfather's hotel. This is how they think. Ordinarily, one would have asked, Ebonyi State is very close to Enugu. There's an airport in Enugu. There are equally some other sister states, depending on the part of Ebonyi, that is close to airport. So, reasonably thinking, what will be taking me to Ebonyi that will warrant me to use a flight? Most likely, the things that will take me to Ebonyi, I will use road. I've told you here agricultural produce. I have told you here the mining sector, specifically production of granite, marbles, and what have you, stones, you know. And these are things you use the road. So one would have expected that the Ebonyi State government will partner with the federal government to say, okay, you have not done this particular road. Can we do it and you reimburse us so that our people can be enjoying the benefit of it? I will be making